Okay, YouTube, this is the long delayed but eagerly anticipated review of my Smith & Wesson Series E TA. I'm going to fire off a few rounds, then take this back to the table and do a tabletop here at the range. I enjoy shooting them as much as I do talking about them. The safety's on, it is loaded, it is hot. We're just going to do a variety of plinking here and go back and talk about the weapon. Need to work on the accuracy a little. That's why I'm shooting it. I didn't have a full mag. Imagine that. And we ran it dry. Let's go back to the table. I don't have a cameraman, so you'll have to walk with me. There's the range. Way back there is the table. Again, I can't pause it. I don't have video editing on my computer, so I can't combine videos. And as you've heard in my previous videos, I use my smartphone, so I can't pause the recording and then start it up again. So let's get this on the table. Excuse the hand in front of the camera. I think we'll be on camera, hopefully. That's actually the first time I have run this in a while, and I'm used to shooting my Glocks. If I can't have any other excuses, I'll offer them up as well. I was a little surprised. If you noticed, I was running dry after only 7 or 8 shots. That's because 1911 holds, in these mags, 8 rounds. Again, used to shooting my either Glock 21, which holds 13 plus 1, my Glock 30S, which holds 10 plus 1, or even my Glock 36, which holds 6 plus 1, but you can get an adapter for the base pad. But let's talk about that. I've got some cheat sheets here, so I don't have to redo this or add edits to it. This is the Smith & Wesson 1911 E-Series TA, which stands for Tactical Accessory Rail. I realize now I forgot to bring my light with me here to the gun range. But that is the feature I most liked about this particular 1911, is the ability to use a light on the it has a 5-inch barrel. Empty weight is 41.7 ounces, and that's why I have this little cheat sheet here and all my Glocks out, compared to the Glock 21. These are all 45 ACP caliber handguns, 1911 45 ACP and the Glock 21. 13 plus 1 rounds loaded, weighs 38.46 ounces, so significantly heavier. The Glock 30S loaded holds 10 plus 1, and at 10 it weighs 30.16 ounces. And again, this is 41.7 ounces. If I've loaded this with 6, I've got in my notes that it weighs just a little over about 42 ounces loaded. And Then, of course, my Glock 36, which holds 6 rounds, or +1, and that comes in at 26.98 ounces. Let's put the gun down and bring the camera a little closer still. You don't need to see me yak as much as you want to see this firearm. Now, the trick will be to try to keep it on frame while I talk about it. It is a stainless steel frame and slide, but it has what Smith & Wesson refers to as the black melanite finish. It has tritium night sights, and I replaced the Series E wood grips. They were a wood laminate grip with a Wesson Combat G10 Starburst grips. I prefer, it actually makes it a little narrower in the grip, and I do not have a large hand, and I prefer the grip angle that I get, or the grip I get on that. It's got pretty good aggressive checkering on the front and the back. I've also installed a low mount thumb safety. So what I can do is I can ride, let me drop the slide, and gun is empty, there's nothing, no mag in there, and nothing in the chamber. But you can see when I'm shooting this, I can ride the safety by just holding it, dropping the safety, and then I can ride it when I'm firing the firearm. I much prefer that versus the standard safety that comes on it, which is a little higher, and it's, for my hand, the low mount thumb safety works. And again, the firearm comes with ambi safeties. I removed that and put the low mount thumb safety on it. Let's see here. Oh, and the reason, one of the reasons my friend suggested that, and plus put me on to Tiger McGee videos in his book, really talks about customizing your 1911 to fit you and your preferences. The Glock, there's less and less you can customize on this. You can put a slide release, another magazine, extended magazine drop, and you can mess with the trigger. But in addition to this, you can mess with the trigger on this as well. One thing about the Smith & Wesson, a little controversial, is it has the external extractor. I'm not going to get into that 1911 traditionalist stance that a true 1911 should have the internal extractor. But just thought I'd point out that John Browning, who is the father of the 1911, also developed the Browning High Power, although he was not around. He passed away before it was finished, and that had an external extractor, as did his model F&N model 1910, which he developed, which also had an external extractor. So I don't think we're insulting Mr. Browning if we go with an external extractor on this. If well made, there's no difference in reliability between the internal or external extractor. There's a couple people that'll claim that there's actually a few pros to this. You can manually depress that, and so on and so forth, and there are reasons when, but I'm not going to get into that. There are videos on YouTube that expound on that. I don't know what else to say, except I wish I shot better at the beginning on the video, but like I said, I haven't shot it in a while, but really enjoyed this gun. It's a little heavy, compared to carrying a 30S or even the 36 everyday carry. I don't know if I would do that with this, but that's just me. Others with a good holster. Incidentally, again, showing off the holster. This is from AlabamaHolsters.com. It's a full Kydex holster made for the Smith & Wesson 1911. You do have to be careful with holsters, leather holsters that is, for this, because some of them do not hold well the frame with the Picatinny rail attached, or Picatinny rail there. It kind of makes it wider right there, and you have to be careful with the leather holster. Pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and happy shooting.